What's good, everybody? Welcome back to TheVaultProScooters. Today, we are going to be talking about our top 5 fork recommendations for anybody out there who's looking for a new fork and might not know what they need to get. So what we did when we looked at all these forks was figure out which one was going to be the most all-around fork, what was going to be the best for a park rider and street rider, as well as the most versatile fork, and then finally, which fork is the strongest. So if any of you guys are looking for a new fork, hopefully we will help you find your way today. Let's get into the first fork, which is the TuC Tomahawk fork. Holds the place for the most all-around fork, if you will, because this fork doesn't cater to park, it doesn't cater to street. It sits somewhere right in the middle, and with its reputation, with TuC's reputation, it's pretty much just the go-to. You can never go wrong riding TuC parts, and the TuC Tomahawk fork is the best all-around fork I could recommend for anybody. It is a bit pricier in comparison to maybe some of the other forks on this list today. However, you pay for what you get, and this is a great fork. Spec-wise for the TuC Tomahawk fork, pretty standard, fits up to 120 millimeter wheels, no bigger than 24 millimeters wide, SCS or HIC compression, and if you go to your local skate park, you'll probably find somebody riding the TuC Tomahawk fork. At this point, it's gotta be like the most commonly used fork in a custom build. Like, more people have picked the TuC Tomahawk fork than any fork in the world, so let that be known. This is a great fork, and that's why it holds its place as the most universal, the most all-around love fork, and you can never go wrong picking it. All right, with fork number 1 out of the way, let's move on to the second fork, which is actually gonna be the park-style fork. Can you guys guess what fork it is? This is the Ethic Legion V2. Well, specifically, I was meant to grab the IHC version, but this is the Ethic Legion V2 fork. This came out, I believe, last year, and the original Legion was very popular in the park community, and the V2 is still popular, but we recommend it solely because it is so affordable in comparison to a lot of the other forks on the market. Not only is the Legion very light, not only is the Legion beautiful, if you will, but it's affordable. Your average high-end fork is gonna range anywhere between 90 bucks, 100 bucks, maybe even in the 80s if you're lucky. This guy's like 50 bucks. So for half the price of some of these other ones, you're getting an Ethic fork that is insanely light, and it's gonna cater to anything that you throw at it. So if you're a park rider, I would highly recommend checking out the Legion V2 fork. Another huge benefit to the Legion V2 is Ethic released it in multiple different compressions, so you can get it for IHC, you can get it for SCS, and you can get it for HIC. So there's 3 different models. They even have a 12 standard model of it as well, so they go all the way with this fork. You can pretty much get one that suits your riding the most, but if you are in need of a new fork and you're a park rider, you cannot ignore the Legion V2. All right, so let's recap. The Legion V2 fork holds the place as the park fork of our recommendation solely because it is light, it is durable, and it is affordable. So as a park rider, it checks off every box that you need. So just buy this fork. It's a sick fork. Give it some love. Whew. All right, that's it for park. All right, moving on to the third fork. We did park, we may as well do street now, and our recommendation was the Native Versa fork. I know a lot of you guys might be wondering, why did we pick the Native Versa fork? There's so many other street forks on the market. We wanted to make sure there was some variety in this video. We weren't just focusing on one brand or giving one brand all the love, so we made sure that every fork was from a different brand so you guys can see just how versatile and far scooter forks have come. The Native Versa fork has held its own in the scooter world for many of reasons. One, it was one of the first forks that ever came out that was compatible with multiple wheel sizes. I don't know about you guys, but this was a big deal to me. The ability of being able to, ride 24s, switch to 30s. It is also a street fork. There's no denying that Native is more of a street brand, and this is a street fork, if you will. It's just a great looking fork, compatible with so many different wheel sizes, and you're never gonna have an issue with compatibility. Same with the Tilt fork and the Ethic fork. They've just got their measurements down, and the way the fork is made, you're never gonna have issues with specific decks or anything like that. You should be pretty much good to go all the time. And like I said, it's the Versa fork, and that stands for versatile. I don't actually know if that's why it's called the Versa fork, but that's what I'm gonna say. It's the Versa fork because it's versatile with its wheel compatibility. I did confirm you still can ride 12 standard wheels on the fork. So there you have it. Compatible with every wheel size, made by a street brand, and it checks off the box today. So this is our street fork. All right, so we've covered the most all-around best fork that you can get, as well as a park style and a street style fork. But I know you guys are asking, what's next? So we mentioned that the Versa was a bit versatile with its wheel compatibility, but what's the most compatible fork on the market? And that is this bad boy right here, the Triad TuC fork. If you guys watch any of Ian McDonald's custom builds, you're familiar with this fork. This is the most compatible fork in the scooter world by far, and I don't think we'll ever see anything come close to it because it literally covers everything. Like you could have one fork forever, like an eternity. Like you never, unless you break it, I guess, but Triad parts are really strong. And what I mean by it being the most compatible fork on the market is this thing can run every wheel size. And when I say every wheel size, I don't just mean 24, 30, 12 standard. Look at how many little spacers there are in here. You can ride, I think they tell you, 24 millimeter, 28 millimeter, 30 millimeter, and 12 standard in one fork. That's just the wheel compatibility. We haven't even talked about compression yet, but this fork can run every wheel. It doesn't matter. You just pick a scooter wheel, it works on here, as long as you have the spacers still. So don't throw these away when you get the fork, please. Put them in a bag, label them, put them in the drawer, because you will need these one day, and they don't sell these separately, so I'm saving you now. Put them in a bag, label them, give them to your parent, do something. Just don't leave these laying around in your room. You're gonna lose them. So we covered that this fork is compatible with every wheel, and the same thing goes for compression. So you can see there is a ton of spacers and compression bolts and crown raises and everything on the end of this fork right now. And that's because I haven't taken it apart. So everything that it comes with is currently here. But all of these bits and pieces here are things that contribute to riding a different compression. So you have your IHC shim, you have your HIC shim, you have your compression bolt, you have everything. So you can ride SCS, you can ride HIC, and you can ride IHC all on this fork as long as you have all this hardware. So please don't lose it. I'm begging you, please don't lose this hardware. I'm telling you now, don't lose it. But as long as you have it, you can ride any compression and you can ride any wheel with this one scooter fork. And that is why this fork holds the crown for the most compatible scooter fork ever created. All right, guys, let's move into the final fork of this video, which is gonna be the strongest fork you can buy. I know some of you guys are a bit concerned about the strength and integrity of your scooter parts. And if you want the strongest fork, you're gonna wanna go with a steel fork. In case you guys did not know, most scooter parts, like this Tilt Tomahawk fork, are made out of aluminum. It's a really good material, it's lightweight, it's durable enough, does its job. However, some people want more, and if you're a rider who consistently breaks forks or just doesn't tighten your compression for some reason, you're probably gonna wanna get a steel fork. And as of right now, there's only one brand that makes steel forks, and that is Midnight. This is the Midnight 4130 chromoly steel fork. It is definitely on the heavier side in comparison to some of the aluminum forks, but the additional strength is something that you really can't ignore, especially if you're a scooter rider who breaks parts fairly often. Midnight has this really, really sleek design. It almost looks like a BMX fork, if you will, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Midnight makes sick parts. You can see their little moon logo. Really, really nice touch, and honestly, just really, really hyped with how sick this is. You can ride up to 120 millimeter wheels on this Midnight fork. It fits up to 24 and 30 wide wheels, so you're pretty much covered there. This specific signature fork comes in this beautiful green colorway. I've never seen a scooter fork in this color, but now I have, and I'm in love. Either way, this fork as of now is 100% the strongest fork that you guys can buy on the market today. There are other steel forks out there. I know TSI made them in the past and stuff like that. So if you do happen to have one of those, then you're good. But if you guys are looking to buy a steel fork today, we have these available on the website. They're a bit more expensive, but you're paying for what you get. Like I said, if you want the strongest fork on the market, this is what you need. All right, guys, and just like that, we've made it through all 5 forks. And I wanna make one thing clear. We are not comparing any of these forks to one another. None of these forks are better than one another. No brand makes a superior fork. That is not what we want you guys to take away from this video. Each one of these forks that we picked serves a different purpose for a different rider's needs. And the purpose of this video was just to give you guys some insight. Maybe you don't know what you're looking for when it comes to getting a new fork. And hopefully after watching this video, you guys have a bit more insight and you kind of know what you want to get. If you guys are interested in any of the forks that I showed you today, you can click the link down below, check them out. If you want to see more forks, head to TheVaultProScooters.com. You can pretty much get any of your scooter needs there. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like button. If you have recommendations for other videos, let us know in the comments. And until the next video, have a good one.